Building self esteem can be a challenge, especially when the world doesn't always understand us. In this episode, we're exploring how to create space for self esteem growth, both for ourselves and our children.
Self-esteem is those things deeply tied to recovering from perfectionism. Often the biggest thing that I struggle with for the longest and the affected rejection of dysphoria and it is and all of these other things that just really got to the point with my value is just so in going to talk about self-esteem. So first things first, why self-esteem, right? Your self-esteem is one of the most precious things that you know about yourself. Having a strong and healthy self-esteem is key because it really starts to help all other areas of your life flourish. So we want to understand why it's important. We start. If you do suffer from this, you want to start understanding ways to strengthen it and to repair it. In self-esteem, as defined by the American Psychological Association, is the degree to which the qualities and characteristics contained in one's self-concept are perceived as positive. In other words, your self-esteem reflects how positively or negatively you view yourself. The person with higher self-esteem tends to see themselves positive, whereas when you have lower self-esteem, you see yourself negative. Your self-esteem is for your life. That's what self-esteem is. And it is in Abraham Maslow's hierarchies, you need for a strong self-esteem placed absolute top, needing to feel loved and accepted. About midway on the chart, bottom pyramid is okay to deficient. And the top half is in this model, this need for self-esteem, major deficient need. Before you forward to me first, having positive self in yourself is really foundation, internal motivation, because you start to view yourself positive. You start this strong sense of yourself to not only to achieve your best, but to also accept the failures with a little bit more understanding, grace, and tendency to be kinder to yourself. It starts to affect your self-confidence. It starts to affect so many other things. So your self-esteem, it can really exacerbate existing issues, can damage your academic, personal, professional. My self-esteem in particular was very tied to how I was doing a month. If I was having days where I was yelling so much, I had such a short temper, I felt so crappy about myself as a person. But then I had to realize, hey, there are times that I have days, there are times that I have good days. How can I make those bad days? And how can I make those good days better? Your low self-esteem also your relationship with yourself. If it's romantic, favorable, if it's personal, if it's professional, wherever those aspects are. Having a low sense of self-esteem is very difficult for you to achieve those big goals for yourself. Having low self-esteem makes you very vulnerable to bully or sometimes to going things that you're doing. It can lead to a lack of trust in yourself because you start to doubt things that you do. And this low self-esteem also ties people because you start to tie your sense of self-esteem, how valuable you are to others, but you're discrediting the value and worth that you have. People pleasing ties in boundaries, and it can also have this leading you to have this sense of your life with your self-esteem. Again, how this just ties into so many different areas of life. I've heard you start this deep inner work at your self-esteem. If it is low, why is it? Where are the areas in life where you are perceiving failures? And then start to look at, hey, is this really the case, or am I just in this situation? To this whole thing of self, I'm not going to talk about strategy, but I want you to be able to walk. So start identifying challenging, right? This is one of the simplest things to do. Next, to make a list of 10 things that you genuinely like about yourself. And it doesn't matter if it seems small, it seems trivial. These are things that you value yourself. Another thing is that you say no. Saying no to someone else, saying yes to yourself. Powerful things that you do. Next is to create positive morning affirmation. Some of us work very well with affirmation, others don't. I am one of those. One of my favorite affirmations. I am. Next is to look at your physical and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Sleep, exercising, are eating, water, things. Next is to allow yourself to accept a compliment and take it a step further. Question the compliment for what it's worth. Because we start to fall into this trap. Okay, why did this person say that thing? They try to get something from me. Is it because they really don't like it? Well, just accept the compliment, but it's. Next is to start celebrating your wins. Get dressed today. Did you take a shower? Dishes. Those areas of your life where maybe it was challenging the day before today. That's great. Next is to start talking to yourself in a more positive way. So when we look in our lives, oftentimes we talk to them in a much better way than we talk to ourselves, or reach freedom in a better way. And there's absolutely no reason that we should be talking to ourselves or treating ourselves in the same way. So those are just a few things that you can try to start raising your self-esteem. So that's what I have for you today. Again soon.